leadership a little bit, right? So you talked about the CEO of Benefit, who is possibly the one that I've heard about the most. I don't know if I'm just too in the benefit community, and so I just hear about him all the time. But I would actually turn the mirror a little bit and say that I've always heard really good things about you as a leader, right?
Huh.
And so, surprising.
Okay. I want the names of the people who didn't say good things about me.
So I'd love to hear a little bit about what your approach is to leadership as well as management, right? So managing teams, managing people, like what does that look like? What are your systems? Do you do weekly one-on-ones? Do you do like, what have you found that works well for you in managing and leading?
So funny. Like, you know what's so funny? Like, like, some people ask me, like, what's your leadership style? And I don't think I have one. I'm just like,
Totally.
me. Like, I guess my leadership style is authentic. I don't know. So
That's a thing, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, look, like some people collect purses, some people collect watches. I collect friends. Like that is my thing. And like the best parts of me is, reflected in my community, and I'm grateful you're a part of it. I'm grateful for Toto and Annie Jackson and Corey from Elf and Melanie from Verse. And, I really think about, how we land with each other, not only in this community, but with my team and also with my board, right? And we all grow up in a world where you're pitted against one another, right? You're graded on a curve. You see dramatizations of school saying, look to your left, look to your right, one of you won't be here, And I've seen it in real life where people want to like, quote unquote, take down like other people, or like, they're competing against other people in a really negative way. I truly, truly believe that it does not take away from you when you build up others. And actually it adds to, the richness of life. I truly believe that. And so, as builders of businesses, we're so keen every day to set goals and hit our KPIs. And in the context of life and leadership, I really think about, how will we be measured at the end of all of it, right?
Yep.
And how do we think about hitting those life KPIs and saying, that it was a success? Like, there is this quote from Clayton Christensen, who was a Harvard professor of mine, and he recently passed away last year. And he was famous around this framework for life KPIs, right? And he said, like, think about the metric by which your life will be judged, and make a resolution to live every day so that at the end, your life will be judged as success, and we're so keen on like, closing that collab or making that product or hitting, in stock, percentages, or like hitting launch, metrics. But at the end of the day, like we're all just people trying to do the best we can and, build on one another. And so that kind of threads everything I do, whether it be with family, with friends, my team. So I guess in a roundabout way, I don't really have a leadership style.
I think what you described is one, right? And I think people do tend to be, because it's natural, right? It's survival. Like you're short-term focused. And in a lot of ways, it's funny you say like, and I've read a few of Clayton's books, and he's fantastic.
Phenomenal.
And it's interesting to say like, how you will be judged, right, at the end of your life. And actually, I think like the judge that matters the most is like you, right? Like how will you judge your own life at the end?
Yeah.
Because that's kind of, I think, to me, ultimately the toughest judge, at least for myself.
I will say that, like on my tombstone, I will want the #1 fastest growing brand.
Well, that is part of the judgment criteria at the end. To roll it out. What was your EMV from 20?
Exactly.
What were your tactics? Absolutely.